hear so many women say that their husband just doesn't know how to be intimate. They want to be cherished. They want to be chosen. They want to be loved after 20 or 30 or 40 years of marriage. Today, we're really excited to have with us Ash Fox. She has turned photographing marriage proposals into a thriving proposal planning business that's helped over 3,000 couples say yes in the most unforgettable ways.
Welcome to Marriage IQ, the podcast helping you become an intelligent spouse.
I'm Heidi Hastings.
And I'm Scott Hastings.
Romance is something I've been interested in since I'm little. Watching fairy tale movies. I was definitely a Disney girl. It started young where I was making my own little soap operas with my Barbies and telling my own love stories. And now, that is my life. I'm a marriage proposal advisor, planner. To do a romantic gesture is a very vulnerable thing for most men. They feel like they carry one role in life a lot of times, and they don't necessarily see themselves as Prince Charming. But on proposal day, they're Prince Charming. And so it can be very nerve-wracking to be like, wait, I'm stepping into a new role today. A lot of that world is really rejecting these kinds of things. They have a word called simp or something, like they're like pathetic, that they would kneel for a woman and all these types of things. But I actually think it takes so much strength, character, vulnerability from a man to really show that softer side of himself.
Women want to see the soft edges. They love being protected, but also seeing that other side, the inner parts, the vulnerability.
What do women really appreciate in this experience? I really appreciate that the man has a plan. The men really appreciate surprising their partner. They love the fact that they were able to get one on her and they know her so well and they love her and she's so surprised and so delighted. And I think that that's something that's priceless for them. It feels really good, I think, to a woman to be able to soften and relax and let her man make the plan. This guy, his name was Chris, and he was a very stoic type of guy, very kind of science. He did a very elaborate proposal. She loved fantasy books and fantasy movies, and he wanted to create that for her. And we got a castle in Tarrytown, upstate New York, and he told his girlfriend that they were going to be going to a wedding. So she was all dressed up, prepared to go to this wedding for an old friend. He even made an invitation. I mean, he really went above and beyond. And we had a musician, we had video, we had photography, of course. It was just so extra sweet to me because he was just this very stoic character, like very quiet. And you maybe wouldn't expect something so over the top and something so thought out from someone like just him on the surface. You have people who are very comfortable in leadership roles. You have people who are less comfortable in that. I had proposals in the past where I remember one in particular where this guy, he wouldn't lean into that. And so she got hungry. She wanted to go for lunch. Now they're at lunch. She's missing his proposal that he paid for the whole thing. He wouldn't do it.
So interesting that you say some of the men are struggling with taking the lead in the relationship.
There's men who are very comfortable in leadership, but are also concerned in the age we live in now. They don't want to make a woman feel like they're steamrolling her. And so because of that, they might lean back. Let's say you're someone who is thinking, I actually love to be kind of taking the lead with my man. And it could be planning a date. You could say to your man, hey, tonight I want it to be all about you. But there's something, just a little idea I want to put out there for you. In the bedroom, there's the concept of the priestesses who, when men would come back from war, they would go see the priestesses who essentially were sexual healers in a lot of ways. And not just sexual, but they were comfort to men. They've come back from this war. They've been fighting. They've been out there in their full masculine. And now they're depleted. And now they're injured. And now they're tired. And they go to the priestess for healing. And so I think it's a beautiful concept that basically to kind of embody that priestess energy with all my feminine gifts. That might be the softness of my hand, like touching him and massaging him and comforting him. That might be in a sexual way. That might just be the way my hair feels on his skin. And that could be your gift to him and taking the lead in that way. And that's another way, but to think of it as like, I can be his healer in this moment, both giving him beautiful, nurturing energy.
Are there other attributes that you found that women really are desiring, things that they want in a man that any men listening might find helpful?
Oh,
in
yeah.
knowing to even put in their marriage.
I think right now in society, it is important to kind of recognize that there are women who are more comfortable in the traditional sense of what femininity is. And there's women who don't identify with that. And that's very fair. But for women who do like that, they like the princess archetype, they like the queen, they like to dress up. That type of woman also really appreciates some traditional masculine qualities. That doesn't mean he does everything. That doesn't mean they don't have finances figured out. Doesn't mean she doesn't have her own career. It just means that she can enjoy that aspect of the masculinity. Something that I think is very overlooked with Reproposing that a lot of people don't realize is how sexy it is. It's actually a very sexy experience because you are in these roles in that moment. You have one person leading the way, surprising you, and you have another person who's reacting in the moment. And it's a great mix of energy. It's a beautiful polarity that's going on. And it creates a lot of fire.
So tell me a little bit more about polarity.
Some people prefer more polarized experiences or dynamics sexually, and other people don't like. But really, it's like two magnets. You need a plus sign and you need a negative sign. And you need two different, very different energies to create fire and magic and connection. And so it doesn't mean you need that all the time. Sometimes you're just best friends and you're both kind of in the same energy in a moment.
When you're starting to have kids or both having careers or a house that takes a lot of maintenance or whatever it is, that's often one of the first things to slide. But if you can bring this polarity of masculine and feminine back into that moment, and the more you put moments like that into your relationship, the more scintillating it will feel, the more exciting it will feel, alive and authentic. Scott and I talk a lot about creating a scintillating marriage. And I think that is what you're talking about with the polarity. It's having bright, shiny moments. It doesn't mean the whole marriage all the time is on fire, but putting intentionally into our relationships those moments that are well thought out, well planned by one person taking the lead.
But it just takes one person being like, you know what? I'm here to bring the magic today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to mix things up and
Yeah.
I'm going to make some kind of romantic plan. And I'm going in with an open heart and I'm going in without fear. Yes, maybe this won't go as well as I wanted it to, but I'm going to at least take the chance. It creates an amazing memory that we want to, in a long-term relationship, create a bank of great memories to draw on when we are in the hard times. I actually had a client who I'm thinking about. His name was Grant, and he'd been married to his wife for 30 years. And he came to me and he is like, this woman, she's the mother of my children. She's my best friend. She's my lover. And she's still so damn hot. And I'm going to propose to her again. He recently told me I proposed to her. We were like in our 20s. We were so young. I couldn't afford to get her the ring she deserves. I didn't know what I was doing. But now, I love her even more.
So it's really saying, I choose you again. At the beginning, I chose you. I wanted you. Now I want you to know that you're still chosen. I still choose you. And I think the principles are still there of being present, of having times where there's that polarity, of having communication about expectations, about having surprises sometimes, and making that special time for each other.
It's a wonderful way to create that positive bank of memories and show your partner again how you see them in a very special light, in this romantic light. Two things I have to share. One is it's really important to have faith in your partner and to not give up on that.
Agreed.
Because I think a lot of people lose faith. I even see it in couples who haven't been together that long, where they're like, oh, they don't know how to do this, and I'm not going to get the sex that I want to get, or I'm not going to get my needs met in the ways that I want to have. I think a lot of people, unfortunately, kind of want to take a victim stance in a lot of things in life and just feel like things aren't working. Oh, I give up, screw it.
Yep.
Maybe you aren't having great sex right now, or maybe your relationship has gotten a little dull or worse than that. And it's like, no, the more you start seeing them as your vision for what you want, the more they often embody that. But it just takes one person being like, you know what? I'm here to bring the magic today. And I'm going to mix things up and I'm going to make some kind of romantic plan. And I'm going in with an open heart because I love my person and I believe in a higher concept for our relationship.